Hello, I think that I'm going to finish quilting this quilt today. I have 3 squares left to quilt, and that means that I'm going to put on a video and finish this tonight. I'm not going to need this thing anymore. I have just finished the quilting, and tomorrow I'm going to see it in the light of day and see if I missed anything. And then it's the best part. Hello, you might recognize this shot from previous video. I'm going through some of my fabrics because I'm going to finish my pencil case. But while I'm here, I might as well choose the fabrics for the binding on my big green quilt. And in my head, it was supposed to be yellow because I have those 4 yellow squares and I feel like it's not enough yellow. So somewhere along the way I bought some yellow fabrics, and I think I'm going to go through this box and put all of those fabrics to the side, and then I'm going to cut some strips out of this because I'm already here. I have a fire going. I might as well stay and make the binding. Sounds like a plan. This project took so much time that I don't remember even what I did. So I have quite a lot of this yellow fabric. I'm going to try and cut my binding out of this one, and hopefully I have enough. I need 9 meters of binding. It's quite a big piece of fabric. It should be enough. And then if I don't get enough, I have some lighter greens. I have a lot of regular greens. I have whites. I don't want to use any whites on the binding, but I think I'm going to just cut this. And usually I have scrappy binding, but this time I'm apparently having a solid same fabric kind of binding. Very unusual for me. Welcome to my junk room, also known as the ironing board room, where I keep my ironing board and my iron. And when I make something, like I made this future coaster, or future pin cushion, I just put them on top of the ironing board and leave them because I don't like to turn the iron on if I only need to press one thing. It feels a bit wasteful. So I usually wait until I have a pile of things. And today I'm ironing the binding for the quilt. I did cut it off camera because my future sewing room is frozen, and being there is a little bit stressful at the moment. In order to get there, in order to do some work in there, what I have to do is I have to shovel my way through snow and get there. And by the time I get there, I'm already tired. I can, of course, go on top of the snow because there's a dog trail in there, but it's not very pleasant. And when I get into the room, I need to start a fire because it's obviously as cold as the outside, and the outside is, I think, -12 right now, Um, Even if it's -6, which I think is pleasant, um, it's still a bit too cold to work on a sewing project. And so when I start a fire, it's the best thing is to leave for a couple hours just to let the fire do its thing and then come back, restart the fire, and then you can theoretically do some things. So it takes time. And I didn't want to do all that, cut some fabric and then leave. So I was cutting my fabric in the cold. But right now I'm getting to the understanding that in order to bind the quilt, I have to work with the sewing machine for an extended period of time, and I just don't want to go to my sewing room. That's why I think I'm going to go there probably tomorrow and take the sewing machine out of that room, bring it here into the warmth, and make the binding and attach the binding. And then I'm going to be so much closer to the end, because after that I'll do my hand sewing, and as you may know, hand sewing is my thing. Time to make the quilt label. I'm still not sure if I like doing that, but here it is in a hoop. You probably cannot see, but I drew the outline with a fine liner because my fabric pans tend to disappear a bit too fast. So this is going to be covered in thread, so I don't mind that it's permanent. And because it's permanent, it's not going to wash out and damage anything in the wash. So yeah, I'm going to take my time and stitch the label. And I had the choice which threads to use because I don't want to go out and buy something. So I was choosing between this thread that I usually use for quilting and have those embroidery floss options have kind of a bright green, some kind of natural green, and some gray, but all of them are variegated and I don't like that, so I decided to go with this one. It's going to be a little bit bright, but I don't mind it being a bit bright. So yeah, one step closer, and I still haven't put together the binding, even though I have brought my sewing machine back here so that I don't have to sit in the cold or spend too much time getting my sewing room ready for sewing. It's one of those tasks that I have been actively avoiding for a couple of weeks, and now it's done in about an hour. But it doesn't mean, like, me learning this, that it took me about an hour, doesn't mean that the next time I have to do it, that I won't be actively avoiding it. It doesn't mean anything. It's just, well, at least it's done now. For some reason, I have the easiest part left to do, but I just cannot find any strength to do the thing. I feel like one of the reasons why I might be not very excited about dealing with the binding is that when I was cutting them, I wasn't very precise, so they're a little bit wonky. Like, you probably won't be able to tell, but I can. So they're not all perfectly 2.5 inch. That's unacceptable. Yeah. But I'm going to go with it and start enjoying them. Not my favorite thing to do. And I made too many. Here's what I need to do. I've probably made too much. Here's what I need to do. I need to cut them apart, and then I need to trim the corners and press them open. Then I'm going to roll them onto a postcard and get to binding the quilt. I have to rearrange my desk a little bit. I was thinking about the label, like it would be logical to attach the label with the binding, but I'm going to do it later when I have the binding attached, because right now I don't know where my border is. Yeah, I'm going to do it later. I'm a little bit afraid because this thing is big and I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Do I know? Yeah. Here's the plan. I'm going to attach the binding as it is. Then I'm going to cut the excess off. Then I'm going to attach the label by hand and stitch the binding on the other side by hand. That's the plan. And I'm not sure if I should Google how to properly connect the binding. So I'm going to leave a tail and I'll think about it later. Had some issues with the tension in the machine. Unpleasant. Probably she didn't like that I had to carry her around in the cold, or maybe being left in the cold for such a long time, but something's off. And I don't remember which tension I had, but probably around 4 or 6, I think. But now it only works at 7 and up. I don't know. I need to look into this, but at least I got it to work. It's symmetrical, but unpleasant, you know. So I'm not going to pin too much. I'm trying to make my life easier. A little test piece. It's so heavy, it's so big. I would really like to have a dining table at my disposal. I'm going to throw my roll of binding onto the floor. I took the time to teach myself how to do the final join on the binding properly. Very proud of myself. So now it's just the final line of stitching and I'm almost done. Almost done. Every step is a step where I'm almost done. Okay, let's do this. And I have quite a lot of binding left. Well, who needs to measure when you can just make a lot extra? Now to I get to put the machine away. That's exciting. And then I'm going to cut the excess and somehow fit the label onto that, and then it's almost done. here it is. Done. Finished. I have binding. I have a label. I have a label. It's upside down. Here it is. The label. And everything is quilted. Everything is washed and dried. It's nice and crinkly. I like it. I like to have it finished more than anything else, because I remember almost exactly a year ago, in the beginning of February, I sat down in the garden back there, and it was really weird weather because it was like April weather, no snow, no nothing, and I was talking about this project that I was going to start, and I honestly thought that I had enough material, and I was going to try and do it in a week. Now it's been a year. Silly me. You live and you learn. I now can confidently say that I can do something in a week only if I don't plan for it. If it's something that I shouldn't be doing, I should be doing something else. If it's a work of passion, I can do something in a week. Otherwise, probably not. I'm a different person now from when I started. This was supposed to be a quick little project out of scraps because I had some of this cotton sateen laying around from a different quilt, leftovers. And I thought that I had enough, but I had to buy quite a lot of fabric. So instead of getting rid of fabric, I was buying more fabric as usual. But I also figured out that my stash isn't that big. Like, it's almost non-existent. I cannot make a quilt from stash because I don't have a big enough stash. One moment. Давай, стой, иди сюда, давай. Вот иди, дружи. Where was I? My stash isn't that big. That's useful to know. And I wouldn't use the materials that I have used in this quilt again. It's cotton sateen. There's nothing wrong with it. It's holding up to abuse quite well. I have a doggy quilt out of the same fabric in there, and doggy quilts are perfect to test the materials because they get a lot of use. So nothing wrong with this fabric. I'm not sure that it's, well, the top fabric is okay, I guess. It's not very happy colors, but it's good enough. It's like, I'm calling this quilt a cucumber patch because it kind of feels like a cucumber patch. I'm going to post a photo of a real cucumber patch, and so you can see the colors. It's kind of green with a little bit of yellow. It works like that. It has polyester wadding. It has a sheet as backing. I'm just not sure about the longevity of this project. Fun fact, in Russia, quilting cotton is called American cotton because it's exclusively used for quilting, and yeah, so quilting cotton is called American cotton, even though we all know that it's not exclusively made in America. But yeah, no American cotton here. Cotton sateen made in China. That's what it's in here. Anyway, it's done. I can now archive it. I hope you liked this video. Now, when this quilt is finished, I'm going to be trying different things. And yeah, a lot to do. I'm still very lethargic because of the winter, and I don't know. I need to find strength to get things done, but slowly but surely some things do get done. And I'm working on my EPP quilt. I'm currently hand quilting it, and I think that that's going to be a video in a month or so. And yeah, we'll see. But for now, I think I'm done here, and I hope you liked the video. If you're still here, thank you. And I'll see you when I see you, because nobody knows. And I don't want to break any promises, so I'm not going to make any.